Hey everyone, Alex Brandy here, New England Patriots Cheerleader, and you're listening to Boston's Big Three podcast presented by Ride the Wave Media.
That's every episode. Every episode we walk into it, like, this could be horrible. All right, episode 45, Boston's Big Three, presented by Ride the Wave Media, sponsored by V1 Vodka. V1 Vodka, shout out Ty Law. He was on the show a couple episodes ago. In case you want to hear more about this amazing brand, go check out that interview with him. I think it was episode 41, total guess. V1 Vodka is the only clean drinking vodka, pure and simple. It's the world's only vodka made from 100% non-GMO, spelt a prized ingredient in the distillation hierarchy from farm to grass. This is a vodka that champions drink, and you can confirm it. Ty Law's a champion. Now let me just say this before we get into the episode. Everybody's sitting around. Everybody's doing nothing. Might as well get hammered on V1 Vodka. Just go get some. Just go get a bottle. You're automatically a champion because what champions drink. So if you want to feel good about yourself, go get a champion drink. Sit on your couch, watch some old Patriots, some old Ty Law, some old Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox highlights. And yeah, you can. That's the only sports on. Might as well just take it like a normal day. Just go get hammered on your couch, watch some sports. You're a champion for drinking it. Simple as that. V1 Vodka. Shout out Tyler.
Wise words from Tyler Miller to our 14-year-old audience.
Just go get hammered. Like, that's all you gotta do.
Ask your
right
parents.
now.
It's like when you signed up for like Disney Channel when you were a kid. Like, ask your parents before like approval or whatever that.
Must be
Just
21 years or older.
Everybody's gonna grow up, and everyone's gonna grow up faster now because it's quarantine. This separates. I was thinking about this.
Is it speeding up time?
I was thinking about this in quarantine the other day. This separates the men from the boys. The boys are boys can't do anything. They're just staring at a wall all day. Now the men, like me, I'm born for the quarantine life. I'm just sitting around my apartment all day. The farthest I'd walk, I just walk to my girlfriend's apartment and back. That's simple. I was built for quarantine life. And we kind of talked about it in the interview with Alex Brandy, who's the Patriots captain of the cheerleading squad during her reign.
Former captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say she leaks more of that in the interview.
Kate and all them were right. I didn't know about that till we went on there. I guess you only have 4 years. You can only get 4 years and that's it. I think you said that too, Staff.
It's definitely a top three interview we've had.
Contract is
Top three.
Someone said
Boston's Big Three history.
top three. No, it was honestly a great interview. I'm very fortunate that Alex Brandy came on. We've had that connection through Instagram over the last couple of years of me building the brand on there, of being the super fan Spike King. And it was fantastic having her on. Some great insight, some funny stories. A couple of great visuals as well too. So if you are listening to this, you might want to head over to YouTube and watch it on our Ride the Wave Media YouTube channel. And I'm sure we'll have some clips out there on Instagram. It was really great. It was a great, like, little 30-minute interview, I believe it was. So.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you want to see an elbow bend 120 degrees, stop listening and just go watch it, and then you'll understand what I'm saying later. If not, then, hey, you'll never know.
Oh, I've already seen it.
If you want to see Babs do a cheer, then you definitely want to watch that too, because I've got a little cheer that I'm going to do today. So.
And there's going to be something else after the interview that'll be a little fun for the viewing audience.
All right, so the biggest news in today's world is that Spike King created a Instagram account for his unborn twin, and it didn't even. The announcement was dropped, and seconds later, an Instagram account. I knew it was gonna happen eventually because I'm like, this kid's gonna milk he's gonna milk content out of his unborn child. And next thing you know, follow the Spike twins. I'm like, there it is.
I actually made that account before everything is strategically done. So yesterday,
2006.
There's always a plan.
Hold the handle.
No. Well, first of all, I saw it like this. Obviously, having kids, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be exciting, and they're gonna be doing some stupid things, some funny things, and I want to share it out there. But do I want to clog your Instagram feed with my baby stuff? Absolutely not.
Yes.
If you just
100% you're gonna do that.
No, if you follow me. Like in the Spike King, some people are like, I just want to follow you for Patriots news. I don't care about your personal life. That's why I made the Spike Twins account, so I can take all this stuff here and these baby photos and stuff and put it on there. And I might share some things once in a while. So I'd rather just build an account off to the side and let my girl run it and just post things. I'm trying to. You got to hear from my side. I'm trying to be nice to the people that follow me, so I'm not clogging you guys up. Other than that, I feel like we broke the internet in New England yesterday by announcing that. Perfect timing while it's during a quarantine. And everyone's on their phone. I said strategically at 6 o'clock, we're going to do this, and it just popped off, and it was nonstop. And I do appreciate everybody out there that wished me good luck and wished me all this congratulations. A lot of people came out the woodwork, and it's actually awesome because there are people that reached out to me and DM me and said, I'm a dad to twins, or I have kids. Any advice you ever need, I'm here for you. It's just people I don't even know. And it's great to have that support system from doing this. So it makes the whole Spike King thing and building up that audience and connection, it makes this awesome.
I have a good idea for you. You should have an IG live thing, like when they're born. Just call it like Dads Being Dudes.
God.
No, not during the birth.
Oh,
like
okay.
just call it when they are in the old Spike residence. Just call it Dads Being Dudes. You hop on IG live and you just take parenting advice from just a bunch of just random dads. That's funny. Dads Being Dudes. I need to trademark that before anything.
You can run that
idea. And if you're
you can produce it.
Why? I'm not a father.
Well, no, it's like Barstool has like what, the Podfather podcast or something like that. Was it called?
It's hopping IG live saying like, oh, we're doing a Dad Being Dudes tonight at 8. Your IG lives going, well, imagine when you have kids, and then if you're already milking the content out of them, you just start by taking advice.
Milking content, saying the words milking content out of kids does not sound right. And I know that's what it's going to end up being. Hey, those Pampers aren't going to pay for themselves. If I can get a Hey guys, I'm gonna text you guys one day and be like, so guys, our new ad read's gonna be for the baby formula. Just letting you know, like it's gonna be baby formula as our sponsor, or like just Gerber. Like we're gonna do time with baby.
Yeah, brand heavy.
You don't ever want to sit back, relax, and crack open a cold case of Gerber.
I'm sure you have like you get a GoFundMe page requesting Jonathan Kraft pay for their tuition for college, something like that.
You should, yeah, absolutely. I should definitely do that.
Did you see that?
I'm gonna
Lawrence's got shut down.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
That's stupid. The NCAA continues to show they're just a bunch of greedy morons.
Corporate hogs.
It got reinstated, though. It got reinstated. Yeah, it did.
Right. Well, all right. So then this goes into my next point. Ownership. I was thinking about this yesterday. Billionaires are the stupidest smart people.
Nice.
Nice job.
I agree.
Nice job.
Good job.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Good points. Good points.
Dude, it's absolutely. Yes. I know it's facts, bro. Straight facts. Like, I just don't get it at all. I don't get why it's like that, right? Like, for those listening, Tyler Miller's headset has come out completely, and he's been ranting and raving for like 45
We
seconds.
can't hear you at all.
1 minute.
No, Tyler, I understand.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I understand what you're saying there.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. All right,
I'm on the side. I
was screaming at nothing. All right, so what part did you get cut off?
The
this is a
very
good point.
beginning.
All right, well, this is a tough look. I was screaming in my room to nobody then. Billionaires are the dumbest smart people in the world in the sense that obviously they're smart. They're making billions of dollars. Sometimes they get it passed down. Sometimes it's just, hey, you grinded, you made an amount of money. The Philadelphia 76ers and the NCAA are absolute morons. They go, hey, we're not going to pay the Sixers say we're going to cut wages. We're going to cut salaries, like fire employees. And they got cyberbullied into fixing that, I guess you could say. Now they're paying everything back. But just the fact that you guys make an announcement, all the higher ups in the Philadelphia 76ers organization, all the people with all the money in the world, even during this Corona stuff, they say, hey, we're just going to stop paying people. That's stupid. And then the NCAA.
Oh my God.
Jesus, Tyler.
My mic is so fragile, dude. What is wrong? Trevor Lawrence at the NCAA, he's going to use his likeness and the fact that Trevor Lawrence is the biggest name in college football right now. That's just a fact. He's going to go back for a third year, and then he's going to just try to make as much money as he can in his life. Everybody knows Trevor Lawrence. Every college football fan knows Trevor Lawrence. He's using that instead of saying, give me money. Let me donate that to charity. Let me donate that to coronavirus. I was going to say awareness. Everyone's pretty aware of it. Help with coronavirus. The fact that these corporations keep saying, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do this. Or we're cutting wages. That's my point. Billionaires, absolute morons, but smart at the same time. And my mic cut out twice, so that's just
fair.
wasn't great.
Yeah, the amount of bad looks for Tyler Miller today are just uncountable. He got caught staring at the cheerleader, then his mic unplugged, he starts yelling at his wall, and then it happens again.
Honestly, this isn't the first time I yelled at my wall, dude. I'm in self-quarantine. I don't have corona. It's not the right. I'm in self-isolation, shall I say. So it's just me talking to my walls all day and my roommates. Simple as that. Kind of stinks.
Sounds fun. Sounds like a time.
What a time to be alive. All right. Any other topics we want to talk about before we dive into the interview?
I had this great question yesterday. I've been doing the Q&As every day since we started this quarantine shutdown, which has been great. And I've been preaching out there. This is the right time to do live streaming, Twitch, to do Instagram, anything that you can do to keep it going. And now you're seeing players starting to do that with the Q&As. I get the same question almost every day about the Patriots, and it's starting to get fucking annoying about like some of the stuff that we go over and over again. But this was kind of an interesting concept that I kind of talked myself into, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Since the March Madness tournament does not exist anymore, and it looks like college basketball probably won't be doing anything this season with it, what about NBA adopting that when they come back and saying, you know what, screw the rest of the regular season, screw your seeding. We're going to have all, I believe it's 30 teams. We're going to have all 30 teams in one giant bracket. And it ends up being one games, except for the semifinals, which is a 5-game series, and then the finals is a 7-game series. Just something different. What do you think?
That would be pretty sick.
So like the Lakers would be the 1 seed. Yeah. They end up playing for their best team, or the Bucks are the 1 seed, and then they end up playing. And there's no conferences; it's just one big bracket, and they end up playing the lowest seed or something like that. I feel like they should do some sort of March Madness bracket.
Do you think really the NBA is going to even come back though? Like every day this goes by, I know they suspended already for a month, but it just feels like everyone's coming out with these ideas, but I don't see the NBA coming back.
I think it does come back. I think April is going to be a very rough month for the economy. It's going to be a really rough month for the United States. They're fucking dragging their feet right now with this stuff. We need to be in a serious lockdown right now. And every day that they're not doing this, because they're just, what Trump's doing is he's letting it on the states and letting the states decide. No, you need to just be as the president, say we're shutting this shit down like other countries are doing. But I do see June. I do see something coming back within the end of May into June, at least for basketball's sake. Because basketball, you can just pick it up and play. With hockey, and you have to at least practice for a couple weeks before you're in there. And we could even see something where they put them in. Everyone gets checked up. They're all quarantined in one little area. They only play on a neutral site, and they'll have something on TV. We might not, as fans, as a society, be able to go back to games, but I'm sure the NBA is going to be able to do something on a neutral site.
Do you know what Rachel Nichols, she was saying on Part of My Take the other day? She was saying like teams might play, I guess, in neutral locations and practice facilities because you don't want to play in front of a ginormous empty stadium. You kind of want more of a condensed feel. Yeah. It would look bad, obviously, and then B, there's no sense for having home court advantage in this I guess scenario. So you just play in smaller facilities like practice facilities. Looks more packed, quote unquote. Looks more condensed, and then it's just games.
So real quick, I want to take that and what WWE's been doing. So what WWE is doing, they got screwed because WrestleMania is here. It's their biggest event of the year. Everyone knows WrestleMania. Everyone knows that. And even for Rob Gronkowski, like he's supposed to be the host this year, sign the deal. All of a sudden, they're hosting it in the practice facility. Oh, it's locked. You got to go downstairs and around. T-Guns is looking at me. I'm not getting up off of this.
I'm interested in what WrestleMania would be like, though.
But my point is that they're filming Raw, SmackDown, and WrestleMania all this week, every day. It's all pre-taped. What they did was they took all the wrestlers, they put them in one hotel, they have medical staff checking up on them, and they're saying, okay, when it's your time, you're coming out of the hotel, you're going to their performance center, we're filming it. What they did with their performance center, it's small. They put empty seats around for the first 2 episodes, and it just doesn't look good. So what they did was they took the seats away, they put video screens up, so the NBA could do stuff like that with technology and make it seem like it's crazy, like having the stats up there, shooting a 3 and then like just putting some visual aspects to it. And I think they're going to do something. I think that if they said we're all going to San Antonio, or we're all going to like Austin, Texas, or we're all getting down to this one area in Oklahoma, this is where everyone's going to be quarantined. We're going to all be at one facility. Everyone gets checked up. They could do that. They could absolutely do it.
It's a bad look regardless for any sport league, though. Any sport league's going to be struggling at this point regardless. I don't care what solutions they try to come up with. It's going to be a disaster for everyone involved, no matter what happens. Side note, Gronkowski's entrance to WWE with no one in the crowd was hilarious. He's dancing around like an absolute idiot and no one's cheering him on. He's just going for it. And he's born for this, honestly.
No fucks given attitude, and he'll be. I think he'll do well for a little bit in WWE, and then people are gonna get sick of him.
Probably.
Wrestling fans.
How long is his contract? Is it just
idea.
for WrestleMania or something?
No, I think he's there for a while.
Before we hop in this interview, I have one last thing. I have a Corona conspiracy. Next Wednesday, we'll all be fine. Nobody's going to be fine. It's a big April Fool's joke. Then Trump's going to come on live TV. Next week is April 1st, people. Next Wednesday, he's going to be April Fool's or however he talks, stuff like that. And Corona's going to go away. Nobody's really getting sick. It's just it's a conspiracy theory made by higher-ups. They just want everyone to they needed a market reset. They need everyone just to go inside. Need to see what the stupid people are going on spring break. Well, let me tell you, April 1st, this thing's done.
I would like to talk more about Corona and really get serious about it and what I'm seeing, but I'm going to save that for after the interview. I'd rather have the interview go first.
I'm not an expert on this. I'm a moron college kid sitting in his room with bunk beds, which I don't fit on.
At least you're at home and you're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing in your quarantine.
Like I said, dude, I'm built for the self-quarantine life. GTA is my best friend. Fact. All right. Alex Brandy interview coming at you hot. Here we go.
Woo. All right, everybody. The interview time is right now. Myself and Tyler Miller, we're here. We have another guest on. We're very, very fortunate to have this guest. And I think it's our first female guest on Boston's Big Three. We don't really strike too much luck here having the girl audience come on here, but this is awesome. This is great. This is exciting. We love this because this individual that's coming on is going to bring a lot of history on here in terms of Patriots Nation, because she's been with the Pats, I believe, for the last 4 years now. Is it 4 years?
Yeah.
But 4 years. So we want to introduce you. We want to say a warm welcome. Big thank you to Patriots Cheerleader Captain. The captain. You're still a captain right now. I know you are. Pats Cheerleader Captain, Alex Brandy, for coming on the show. We thank you. What's up? How's it going?
Yay. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm really excited to start this interview.
How's quarantine life treating you now?
Great. Just, that social butterfly wanting to be with
You can only sit on your bed and on your couch so often before you go insane.
But now I get to talk to you guys, so
Of
that's
course.
fun.
Well, we said ourselves, this is perfect time for podcasting. This is perfect time to shoot your shot and just try to get anybody on here,
right?
Because you might be gearing up for the next season or for auditions or whatever you're doing, or any other athlete might be getting ready to, training and stuff, and they might not have the time. Well, we're all sitting at home right now. We got nothing else to do. So let's just hop on for a call. But speaking of quarantine life, something that we have to do as a society is stay in shape. We got to make sure that we're training, we're working out. And I want you to talk a little bit about your new venture in life and its Ascend experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, about Ascend, where to find it, how it started?
Yeah, so I started it in January, actually. So it's a brand new company. So right now I'm just focusing on trying to help everyone live, healthier lives, really promoting fitness and all of that stuff. And for a while now, I've actually been doing a lot of virtual stuff, which is kind of perfect for right now. Getting to work with my clients, through FaceTime and online. I do a lot of Facebook groups with it and stuff like that. And, I think that with this quarantine situation, people can go either way. They can just, crawl in a hole and hide and kind of succumb to the, anxiety, the stress, all of this information that's coming at us, or they can really, set some goals and, focus on, what can I do at home? I posted the other day, everything that you can do I posted a workout where you can use cat litter as a weight, literally anything you have in your home, just use and focus on, being healthy.
I've been doing a lot of curls with the Bud Lattes at
There
home.
you go, with the Bud Latte.
As someone who hasn't been in a gym in 21 years, I'm thriving in the self-quarantine life. My life hasn't changed that much. Before you get to the Patriots and you have an NFL cheerleading career, do you have any like past cheerleading experience that kind of led you there, or you just saw an audition one day, said might as well try out, and it worked out for the best? Or kind of walk us through how you landed your job.
Yeah, so I actually wasn't a cheerleader growing up, which is kind of, a huge misconception with NFL cheerleading in general, I think. Everyone thinks that we just, cheer on the sidelines and, we meet fans, and we do that, but we're pretty much a dance team. So pretty much everyone that makes this team has an extensive dance background. So I grew up since 3 years old dancing. And cheerleaders, like all of these like amazing athletes on all these cheer teams like that, they talk about it in that documentary Cheer on Netflix. Like those girls can't make our squad because they don't have the dance background. So it's kind of a crazy like clash of worlds. So, but yeah, so that's how I kind of knew about NFL cheerleading, is because that's one of the huge avenues for a professional dancer to go into after they finish their training.
Strange enough, I've actually watched that documentary. I had to take it. I did it for a class, so I had to write about it after.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about, the situation.
Yeah. So they get all of these skills, these tumbling skills. Some of the girls on our team tumble, and guys, but if you don't have the dance skills, you cannot make the squad. And it's kind of sad because there is like the green team for like Celtics, and they do a ton of stunting and stuff like that. So that's like a perfect avenue to go to.
How did you find out about the Patriots auditions? Was it just through their website? You get connected through someone, or?
Yeah, so I actually went to college with a couple girls that were on the team at the time.
Oh, all right.
By the time I made the team, I was actually on the squad with them, which was kind of cool. I went to Dean College, who has like a huge partnership with Gillette Stadium and the Pats and everything. So, I saw maybe like 3 or 4 girls that I went to school with like go through the process, and I was like, I want that. Like, and I
might as well.
was a Pats fan too, so it was kind of just like meshing the worlds together.
You had to take the opportunity.
Right. Yeah.
Did they have those auditions at Foxwoods or anything? I've seen that like posted in the past. Is that where it ends up happening every year?
Yeah, so that was actually a new thing. I think I went through that back in the day when I first started auditioning. Auditions were like closed to the public. It was literally just you and the judges, so it was very intimidating. It depends on how you look at it, because then they switched over to making it a huge show at Foxwoods. And then there would be like 500 people, but they were like cheering you on, which was kind of nice. So you would like go up, do your routine, and like there would be like 500, 600 people screaming and yelling and being excited for you. So it's kind of fun.
Who are those people attending that? Are they like family and friends? Or are they actually just people?
Oh, yeah.
Or nut jobs that just come out and they're like, I wanna see some cheerleaders today. Seriously.
It's honestly a mix, because most of it is family and friends, because people make like signs, they have like posters, they're like, yeah, but no, it's open to the public. So I'm pretty sure a lot of like, drunk gamblers would like wander in.
Yeah. Take like a little break or something.
Or bet on the cheerleaders who makes the team.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Gotta
they
gamble
actually
on
did that. They actually made like a score sheet.
Like an underground
your
betting
team.
circle.
Yeah.
In terms of your auditions, how did your audition go when you first did it? Were you nervous, scared? Did you mess up anything, or did you just feel confident, like, I got this?
Oh, it's the most nerve-wracking thing you'll ever go through in your entire life. Like it was core shattered, like just everything. It was crazy. The first time I auditioned, I actually didn't make it. I was coming off of a really bad ACL injury, and I had to get like a really extensive surgery, and it took me like a year to recover from it. And then I auditioned, and I actually didn't make it. I made it all the way through boot camp, which is like the last step of the audition process, because auditions are like over a month long. So like whatever people see at finals, you still have to make it through 2 weeks of boot camp, where you're like running the ramps, you're doing like these crazy drills. They put us through some crazy stuff through boot camp. But yeah, I didn't make it till the following year. So at that point, I was so hungry for it that like nothing was gonna stop me. Like I put my all into it, and then I made it. So
how many people audition or try out to start like on day one?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Oh, wow. Is there any funny bloopers or something that you've seen that you're just like, I feel so bad for him or her? Like something that like they messed up and you knew they just stormed off the stage and they just left?
Oh, this year it was so sad because you learn a combination. It's really not funny, to be honest. It's kind of sad because they, you know the struggle, like you train all year for this, and then both of them just stopped at the exact same time. Like you go up in pairs of two, and the music cut off, and they just like walked off, and it's like the saddest moment, like because your heart like goes out to them, like how sad it is. But I mean, there's always little bloopers, and one year during auditions, we have to go up to a mic and say our fun fact. So we have to give a fun fact about ourselves. And so it was super funny because I brought my phone up on stage with me, and that's like a no-no. Like, you don't do that. And because the year before I was considered the selfie queen or the selfie taker of the group because I have this really weird elbow that kind of extends weird so I can get everyone in the shot.
So selfie stick is an arm.
It
Perfect.
is. It literally like bends.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
So I can literally get the whole group in the picture. So then I took my phone out on stage with me, and I literally was like, fun facts, the whole team is, I'm like the designated selfie taker. And so I whipped my phone out, and I took a selfie with the entire audience, and like people like died. It was great.
Well, that's
I think
awesome.
you had to be there. But yeah, that was cool.
That's awesome.
I mean,
hey, like Tyler Miller, do you have any fun facts about yourself? We're gonna put you on the spot.
See, this is like college syllabus week. When everyone gets there the first day, they're all 20-something years old. You really don't want to share a fun fact, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
I can juggle and I can solve a Rubik's cube.
There you go.
Alex, so obviously you made the team. You went through the auditions. It's
Yeah.
your first NFL game as a New England Patriots cheerleader. Could you tell us what game it was and what your thought process was going through throughout the day? I'm sure it was a little nerve-wracking. You're going in front of 70,000 screaming fans, and just soaking it all in. Just give us your first day of being an NFL cheerleader.
Yeah, so this was back in 2016. And our first game, we always kind of warm up with preseason, right? Yeah. And this was the year, I believe it was the year that Brady had like the 4-game suspension. So like people were like chanting like Brady, like it was insane. And back when I very first started, so every year we have a cheer clinic, and we have about 400 like little cheerleaders from the ages of like 6 to high school, right? 400. Like try to picture that in your head. It's like so many girls. An army. And, like when we first started to do it, we had the cheer clinic the same day as the game. So we would get there at 7 a.m. in the morning, and the game was like at like 8:30 at night, and we would have this like 12-hour cheer clinic preparing the girls to go on the field that night. So that was my very first experience. I had no idea what I was doing because they never like took us on the field to like show us where we go, what we do, like what the do's and don'ts are of like the game. They try to like explain it to you, but there's really nothing like actually stepping out onto the field. So we do this 12-hour cheer clinic, and it was like a 90-degree day. Like I'm not even kidding you, it was so hot, and we just looked disgusting. Like we were dripping sweat. We're like in our uniform. We like go out, we do the performance with the kids, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you're on the field, it's a game. And you're just like deer in the headlights. You're just following your captain because you have no idea what's happening. And yeah, you just kind of get through it. But that was like the craziest day.
Tyler, before you ask the next question, I worked with the Mass Pirates last year, and obviously it's a very smaller scale than the New England Patriots. But I got to see, they call themselves the Lady Dancers over there. And then I end up getting to I was the MC, so I know about running around, the setup and the timing of everything. What's the communication like for the New England Patriots to communicate like, hey, you're going on now, music plays, when it stops, has there been mess ups? Like, I just want to know how that is because I know we messed up a bunch of times, but it was also being interesting to try to communicate with everybody.
Yeah, so our director and the cheer and the dance coach, they wear like headsets, and they're kind of in communication with the people that start the music and everything. We always would dance at the same time. So we would do pregame, we would do the end of the first quarter, the 2-minute warning, end of third quarter, 2-minute warning. So that would be like you never had to guess like when you were gonna field.
It's not like you're waiting for a stoppage in play or something like that.
No.
That's probably the MC or whatever they end up doing during the game. They probably make it flow a little bit easier than what we did.
And there was only like a handful of times where our music like started like 10 counts in. So then we would just have to stand there and be like, because like you can't pick it up at that point. I mean, it's just our routines are pretty complicated, so to be able to like pick it up like mid routine is just not gonna
impossible.
Happen.
You mentioned earlier how you said if you don't know what you're doing, you look for your captain, just follow what they're doing. Who were some of your mentors in the cheer squad, maybe the Patriots organization, that led you to eventually be captain and kind of get more comfortable in the job?
Yeah, so I have to attribute a lot of my success to Tori, who is my captain. She was captain for 3 years on the team, so you can only do 4 years, and she was a captain for 3 of her 4 years, which says a lot about her. And she really, I would text her whenever I like had questions or felt scared about anything, and she just really like was my go-to, and I appreciate her so much for everything that she did for me while she was on the team with me.
How long did it take you to transition to captain from that? If she was there for 3 to 4 years, you've been there for 4 years now? This is your 4th year. What year did you get named captain? What did that feel like? Just kind of walk us through that experience.
Yeah, so I did 2 years as you do 1 year as a rookie, and then you become a veteran. So I got 1 year as a veteran, and then my 3rd year I was named captain. That took me like by extreme surprise. Like I burst out into tears. Like they did a big announcement that year, and they had like flowers for us and everything, and it was just like such a special moment. It was right in the cross pavilion, or not the cross pavilion, the Optum Field Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So like when they announced it, was like looking out all over the field and everything, and it was just like a really special moment, because the year that I got named captain, there was a lot of girls that were worthy of that position, and so I felt very, very lucky that I was named captain that year.
Is there just one captain, or there's several captains? Like how many people I guess are on the average cheer squad, and then how many of them are captains?
Yeah, so our squad last year was 34.
Okay.
We had 2 guys, and then the rest were girls. And there are 4 captains, because you get split up in the 4 corners of
Just
the
by
field.
your group.
So you like spread out between like the goal line and the 10-yard line with your group. And then you guys rotate throughout the game. Each quarter you're in a different corner of the field.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Did you say that you only do 4 years and then that's it?
That's it.
So is this your last year coming up?
I'm actually retired.
You're retired now? Like I was just okay, because like I think it was Caden that was the one that told us that, Tyler, because we were talking in our little Ride the Wave chat, and we're like, I guess cheerleaders only do 4 years. I didn't even know that, and I wanted to actually ask you before we went on.
Got
had a
my
brain fart.
thing. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, you got retired. Oh, that's awesome. Does it a little bit sad then? Is it like a little sad that the journey kind of ends and then that's it? I mean, you got to do a lot of great things probably in the last 4 years, which we're gonna get.
I got to do so many great things. I am so fortunate for the amazing ride that I had, and I feel like I had like the prime of like the Brady Belichick era. Like I couldn't have asked for a better 4 years, and I think that it was like a great time to like have my final bow, if that makes sense. Like it was like you can feel it. Like 4 years is like perfect.
It's definitely not the way you wanted to go out this year, like with the team. We'll talk about Brady a little bit later, but does that mean because you're retired now, you can give us some juicy gossip details? Because I know that when you work with the Patriots, they don't like doing media. They don't like anyone talking about them. But
right.
Maybe you can give us some stuff. We'll move on. How rigorous is your routine? Like, and memorizing everything. Is there anything you could show me right now to do, like right here on the podcast, that I can do for a little cheer or something like that? I mean, I have the gender reveal today. I'm going to go on Instagram Live. I might have to give something. I could say, oh, Alex Brandy taught me this.
All right. Well, you can do a nice cheer for them. How about that?
I'm ready to go. I'm trying to. I don't know what do I do? What my hand movements?
Okay, let's do. Ready? P A T-S. Let's go. Pack.
Dude, B-A-B-Z, Babs. B-A-B-Z.
Yes.
Right there. There we go. I'm gonna put that on the video today. I'm gonna wait one more time. I got it.
It's
A-T-S. Let's go. Pack. Got it.
There we go. I got that. You're gonna say nailed it. Nailed it. I was actually saying because of the Ascend experience, and again, those that want to check it out at Ascend Experience, we might have to do a little fitness class together. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna set that up. I need to get a Skype camera or something like that, and I got to get my workout, and I'm sure not a lot of people really want to watch me do that, but
that'd be great. You could put like the Rocky music behind it, like dun, dun, dun.
So now that your time has come to an end, unfortunately, with the New England Patriots, in the last 4 years, can you tell us your best moment? If you had to pick one moment and your worst moment as well, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought about this one a little bit. I think both of them come down to like Super Bowls. I think being able to see LI unfold right in front of my eyes was like probably like one of the best moments of my entire life. I was pretty much 5 feet away from the winning touchdown, and just to be able to see that and then run on the field and have the red and blue and white confetti like fall on us, it was like an insane moment, like unbelievable. And then the following year, I don't want to say it was like a total like loss of an experience, because I'm still really grateful to have the experience, but to watch them work so hard all year and then go to that game against the Eagles and to have the game end and the black and green confetti rain down. Yep. It was just like that moment where you're just like so sad for them.
Yeah. I go to school in Pennsylvania. I'm at Penn State, so as a Patriots fan watching that, surrounded nothing by Eagles fans. Obviously, the Patriots didn't win, and I had to walk like a mile home, and then all the streets were rioting downtown. So I was walking through all these riots, and everyone wicked happy. They won the first Super Bowl in forever. And so I can only imagine what that feels like to actually be there, seeing the team celebrate. Like that moment stunk for me personally. I can only imagine actually on the field.
How close are you with the team in terms of, like, say, the Super Bowl week? We were going to get that next question anyways about what the Super Bowl week was like, so I took that away from Tyler there. But I just want to know, how close are you guys with the team in that sense, with the players and everything like that? Or you guys are just doing your own thing over here, they do their own thing, and you guys don't really mesh?
We have so many events that we do Super Bowl week. It's insane. We're up at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. for all these shows and stuff, and we go till 10 o'clock at night. It's insane. It's an insane schedule. The team is really under lockdown, I feel, when they're at Super Bowl. Like, they go to practice and like they're not allowed to like leave their hotels at night. Like, they are focused, locked in. So we really don't see. I think my second year we did like a Good Morning America or one of those shows with like Gronk, because it was like the year after he had retired. So he did an event with us, but like the current players not so much, just because they're like so focused on that one game. You know what I mean? Like, that's why they're there.
So transitioning more to like the ownership side, did you guys ever work like closely with Robert Kraft? Did you meet Robert Kraft? Is there kind of just like, or was that just a different department that he didn't really have to worry about? I'm just wondering if you guys, the Kraft ownership group, kind of, you communicated with them a lot on routines or what should be done on the field. So if you've talked with them, kind of talk about that. If not, then never mind.
No, I mean, I think the closest we work with the Kraft family is for their charity foundation. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of events with the charity group through, the team. So he'll be at like events like that to kind of like address the crowd. He addressed us at one of the send-offs as kind of like a group, like, thank you so much. Whenever his family is backstage, especially at those like send-off rallies, they're all so nice, and we see them in the tunnel all the time. They're honestly really nice.
My bad. One second, my phone is totally just bugged out. All right, so what's next for you? Like you just said, only a 4-year cheerleading, I guess, lifetime for the Patriots. What's your next step in your career? I know people who do, like you said, the green team, and they say it's only there a couple of years. You always got to kind of think of ahead. Some girl that I know that does the green team, she said she had like a 4 or 5-year plan. In the next couple of years, I'm going to be doing, say, the Celtics green team. What am I going to be doing next? So what's your plan going forward?
Yeah, so I really did, for a while, I contemplated if I was going to audition for another NFL team, if I was going to go for another, any pro team like NBA or anything like that. And, I just love the Patriots so much. And to me, it just wouldn't feel right cheering for any other team. And I feel very loyal to them, and as a fan too. And, it's really hard to pursue other things in life in general when you're doing this team, because if you don't put your 100% into it, then you're not going to have a good experience. So I really dove in 100%. But, I'm 27, and there's other things in life that I really want to focus on. I want to build my company, and, family is always on my mind. Like, I want to pursue that and, everything like that. So I decided to just kind of retire and step away and, focus more on the next thing.
Is the door open at all for a return in the sense of coaching or helping out in some sort of capacity with the cheerleaders?
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to be the assistant trainer for the team for the past 3 years of the squad. So whenever our personal trainer wasn't able to come to practice, I stepped in and trained the girls. So I'm sure if they ever need, somebody to help with the fitness side of it, I could step in. And I was also fortunate enough my last 2 years on the team to do choreography for games. So I would love to come back and do choreography again. That would be super fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, the door's always open there, and like kind of do your own thing for a little bit. You keep that up, and you never know what opportunities come down the line.
Right.
Something that I was interested in, we talked about a little bit back and forth, was the do's and don'ts when you meet cheerleaders. Because you said you've done so many events, you've probably meet thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And some of those people in between are probably questionable people that you end up meeting. And I'm curious that if there's been times that, you take a picture and someone's tried grabbing your ass, or, and another example is this. I remember going to the Jets game, and some drunk asshole next to me was like, yelling at the cheerleaders on the Jets, and like, oh, like, I want to fuck you so bad, and blah, 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 the catcalling. But that shit happens. Like, that actually happens, and you're living there. You have to remain professional at all times. But I want to hear some war stories out there. There's got to be something that kind of set you guys off, that you wanted to go tell someone to go fuck themselves or whatever, and you can't. But I want to know that.
So I never really had any, like, really super bad experiences like that. I know that some girls on the team have had that happen to them. So we have this protocol where the rookies get a whole training. So, like, we have to go around the room and we do each scenario of what you can kind of come across with, like, creepers or, like, people who don't, we do a lot of events that are, like, drinking heavily, and, so you kind of have to, like, be like prepared for anything, really. But basically, if you come across somebody who looks like they might have had too many drinks, or they might not be like the most pleasant person, or they're saying something to you, you say, oh, we're gonna link arms like we're going to prom. So then you kind of do like the arm link thing with them, so that it makes them stand like this, so they can't put their hands around you.
Smart.
So there's like things that you do to kind of block.
I feel like they've done that to me a couple times.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Sorry. I've had some people like wave in the stands to me, and you have no idea who they are. So you're trying to figure it out, and you're like standing there and you're like ready to dance, and they're just trying to like get your attention. So I've had that happen a lot. I had somebody tell me that my skin was really soft, which was kind of creepy.
That's
serial killer.
So yeah, I was like getting ready for like a what's that, Silence of the Lambs situation.
Yeah, how do you even respond to that? Thanks.
Like oh.
Awesome.
That's kind of the creepiest thing I've ever gotten is that my skin's really soft, but I guess that's a good thing.
It's up there. Yeah.
I'm sure there's other fan bases out there that are worse than the New England Patriots fan base. I'm
Oh,
sure
I
that.
think they're awesome. Like our
Yeah,
fans,
yeah.
we really have like the best fans, and that's what we always say is that our fans, really make our job pretty easy. So
Absolutely. All right. Well, now let's transition to the final topic before we wrap this up. It's Tom Brady's departure. TB12's gone. You're gone as well. Looks like everyone's just leaving New England, just leaving us high and dry. Spike King ain't going anywhere. I still got to do my job and be there to root on the team, no matter if it's Jarrett Stidham or it's Brian Hoyer or if it's Tyler Miller at quarterback. But how did you feel about the Tom Brady departure? Do you feel that the writing was on the wall? It's time to go? I mean, there's not that story, the fairy tale ending that he gets to retire with the Patriots. And, what's your feelings on it?
I was so sad. I just felt like he had such an empire here and everyone loved him and supported him and everything. And I just feel like, I wasn't ready to see him go. But also, like, the way that you kind of, like, develop within the Patriots organization, like, it really feels like family. So whenever anyone leaves, it's so sad. I remember I did a huge Mexico trip with Trey Flowers, like me and 4 other girls, and then the next year he went to the Lions, and it was like it hurts your heart because it feels like it's part of your family is leaving, and that's how we really feel with like the cheer squad. So it's like even with the players too, like it's not just like trades or money to us, it's like part of our like group is like leaving us, so like we take it a little bit harder, I think.
I said it was time for him to go. I mean, the writing's been on the wall, so we got to look forward to our next quarterback. I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. If he stayed any longer, this guy literally has outlasted everybody around him.
Yeah.
And it's nuts to see the drive and passion. You see it right in person every single Sunday or those Thursday night games or Monday night games. You see that Brady is still out there, and to be 43 years old and be able to do what he does at that high level, it's banana land. And it's something that, like you said, you're very fortunate in the last 4 years to experience all those Super Bowls and be able to experience that and go through that Brady's final run with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Even though it ended on a sour note and it's not the way we wanted to see it end, it's, it's time to move on. So,
it's
Alex,
my first year without Brady. I'm 21. He's been here for 20 years. It's the first year that I have a new quarterback on the Patriots.
Wild.
It is crazy for our generation. Like I'm 28, turning 29, and I was in 5th grade when they won the first Super Bowl. So it's like all I've known is Tom Brady as well too. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of years, and I'm excited for it in terms of content, in terms of Patriots, in terms of Spike King, because a lot of people are down and out. You know me, I'll stay hyped, and it's the Patriots. It's still a team effort at the end of the day. It's not just one person. You know what I mean? The cheerleader squad is just not Alex, Brandy. There's a team of you around together to work that out. Alex, before we wrap it up, this is your time to shine. Anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to say, anything that you want to plug, this is right now.
Yeah, just a Sun experience. If you are looking to do anything while you're at home in the quarantine, reach out. You can email me at connect@ascendexperience.com and check out my website.
Awesome. We do appreciate you coming on. This was actually really great insight and everything like that. We'd love to have you back on down the line too.
Awesome.
And now that you're retired, I might want to get some juicy gossip now. If you can,
Okay.
Let's spill the secrets.
I might have to sneak back in the DMs and see what I don't want to be careful of what I can ask and don't ask, because if you are on the team still, I know that the media's watching. The Pats media doesn't like me. They don't really like me that much. But I'm still always around, so I want to make sure I'm careful on what I say and don't say though.
Right.
But this was fun. It was great. Thank you so much for coming on. We do truly
awesome.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And that was Alex Brandy. Thank you for coming on the show. Patch cheerleader captain, elbow mover, selfie stick, whatever.
Soft skin.
Connoisseur.
Don't forget that soft skin there.
Yeah.
I'm sure I made her. I wasn't trying to come after left field and say like, I want all the juicy gossip from the Patriots. I mean, she's retired now. She can say what she wants about the Patriots, but I know she loves them, and I know she'll never speak a bad word about them. I just want to know more information about, like, say, the Super Bowl week. She said she was really upset about how they lost that game, and she's like, I seen them work so hard to lose the Super Bowl and see how everybody was upset. I wanted to see, like, what were your thoughts about the Malcolm Butler situation? Like, that's what I was kind of seeing about I asked her in the sense of how close are you guys with the team that week? Do you know if there was any animosity going on? And I wanted to get into that, but she said they're doing their own thing the entire week, and the team's shut down. They're quarantined for the week themselves, and they're kept quiet. So I thought it was interesting. It was great to have her on.
Workout plans.
And I need to do a little workout video with her, the virtual workout with that. So hopefully I get that on at some point. So it was good. It was a great interview.
I have a challenge for that workout video. I want you to dress only in 80s fitness gear for that interview.
Oh, love that. Absolutely. I could wear that American jacket that I have, and I get the pants.
Yes, you can.
Too, and I could just get a little headband with it. But getting back on tights.
I one like the tights. I want to see Babs in tights.
Oh, boy. I don't think anyone else wants to see my flat ass in tights.
Not even that. Nobody wants to see him tights, period.
I want to go back into the topic before the interview that I said I would leave it for. This is the COVID situation. You said about April Fool's Day and how this could be an April Fool's joke. I actually think in my mind that on April 1st, you are going to see a headline that you're going to think is an April Fool's joke, but it's actually not. And it's going to be something that's very, very scary. We are still prepping for the worst. And I kind of did this, and I don't know if we talked about this on any recent podcast. I don't think so, because we had Jay Lazard on. But I don't really talk about where I work. Obviously, now I have, because I think this is the right time to just kind of go out there and say I work at Mass General Hospital in Boston. And I don't really try to dive too much into my personal life because there's some things that you should keep quiet, especially when it comes to a hospital and there's violations of what you say. So I try to really be careful with my wording because I don't want to get fucked over. Because it's happening with people with them releasing information. But when I had those two videos and I posted about number one, about, hey, this shit's going to be real. And then number two, about visitation, go see your loved ones. I'm trying to be genuine and say, like, this shit's being real. And number three, which I'm going to make another video. So this is like a little spoiler alert. You guys are going to get it first whenever this gets released. I'm not doing it till Thursday. Is about how it's affecting my life. And I can't even go to my ultrasound. Like that, this was a 16-week ultrasound. This was the ultrasound to say everything's healthy. We want to make sure the babies are A-okay before we go public with it. And I was actually told that I might not be able to go to another baby appointment until birth. Like I might not be able to be there for my girl. And I'm not the only one in this. There's a lot of other people. Here's another story for you that's happening that I can talk about. I know a friend's wife that has a kidney stone right now. And they said, you have a 25% chance of it passing through you. But most likely we have to do surgery. So over the weekend, she started feeling really pains in her side. And she called the doctor on Monday and said, dude, this has been so bad. Like I went to the ER and all they did was release me. They gave me a shot of something. And they literally told her, these are your three options. You could either go back to the ER, get that shot, and it just helps you for a couple hours. You can wait till it passes. Or you can wait until you get very sick, spike a fever, and we have to do emergency surgery on you. Other than that, we can't do surgery on you. So there are people out there right now that are probably suffering through this COVID situation with other, life injuries that are not life-threatening and critical right now, but are going to eventually become that. The hospitals right now, all around, not just us at MGH, the last couple of days have been eerily quiet because it's the calm before the storm. And now we're already starting to see the intake of patients. I'm not going to say numbers, and I don't want to say that stuff because I could get in trouble, but it's just, I want to just be the person out there to say, this shit's going to hit us hard. And the fact that Baker, it's being led to the States, and then Charlie Baker, it's all fucking politics, and they're all trying to save face in this. You need to shut everything down. Yes, we have the essential workers out there, and we have the people that we need to be there. It's just, it's crazy times when I walk into the hospital. The first thing I have to do is sanitize my hands, put a mask on, which it's just, and you're just like that. And I have to wear glasses for the entire time if I'm in the emergency room. It's getting to a point where you have people in the medical in the medical world at that hospital that have been there for 50 years. And like, I've never seen something like this ever happen. But we're taking this absolute serious, man. And I said, I thought this week, we're on Wednesday right now. I thought this week was going to be the worst week. I haven't been keeping up too much because I'm obviously my other life stuff that's going on. I've been trying to keep positive and celebrate. We're still in doomsday, dude. And this is where things are going to get bad. And I talked to I talked to a gang member, quote unquote, this past week that came into the hospital because you don't know. He could just be talking shit.
Was he local?
But here's my take is that, and I'll end it here because I can ramble on this forever, is that everyone's, unemployment's sky high right now. And that people are out of jobs, they're on furlough, and there's only X amount of money coming to your pockets. And some people might have zero money coming into their pockets. And a lot of people are trying to be optimistic thinking, oh, this is only going to be 2 to 3 weeks. It's just going to pass by. That's not going to be the case. And what I'm being told is this is going to last a longer time. And once we get over this 2 to 3 week hump, and say it's mid-April, let's just say April 12th. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we have to do another 15-day quarantine because it's going to be 3 cycles of quarantine.
Yeah, they're going to keep doing it. Keep doing 2 weeks. They're
going to keep doing 2 weeks. These people in the inner cities, in the quote-unquote hoods, are going to get restless. And this guy that talked to me said they're already getting restless as is. And it's to the point where he even said himself, and this is just one person, one individual saying, I have a newborn baby. I have my girl as well too. If I lose my job and I'm making no money, I'm going to make sure I do anything possible to put food on that table and to go out there and have them survive. That mentality happens here in America. Every other country that's on lockdown, they listen to their militaristic government. And just because of what their countries are. Over here, it's a democracy. And we like to fight against that. We like to fight against the being held down or being capped. That's what built America. But what happens is when they order a lockdown, quote unquote, or a quarantine where they're telling you, don't go outside. You can drive. Like, that's fine. Just don't go outside. They're going to take that shit serious and people are not going to like it and they're going to fight back. And that's what worries me the most about COVID is that we might see riots. We might see Ferguson. We might see Baltimore happen again. And I know those were for social injustice, for what was happening in the world at those times, but just the way that people want to join in and fight against the military. They want to prove something. And but it's more scary in the sense of I have no money to my name. 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I need to go out there and all the ammunition has been bought in Massachusetts. All the guns have been bought. I know that for a fact. Like there's no more guns left over, no more ammo left over. So everyone's been stocking up and that's what scares me. And like GRD says, it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to end up happening. And we could just be talking about this and you could be like, Babs is just spitballing. He's a conspiracy theorist. But look at our track record in America. And not only that, look what's going on the other side of the world. China was in a 2-month lockdown for 60 straight days. It feels like in America, we haven't even been in the lockdown yet. It just keeps like, it's like we're slowly trying to do it, but it's not happening.
Did you see the new virus out of China that's been making waves? It's the Robin to the Batman coronavirus, this hantavirus thing.
No,
HANTA virus. So if you look it up and then you click news on like Google or whatever, it's like kills man in coronavirus missed. 32 others tested. Man who died on bus had hantavirus. A case of hantavirus has been reported. So now we have 2 people coming at us. It's a tag team.
Want to know how hantavirus is spread?
How?
Bat feces, bat saliva, and like if you like eat like a dead bat. That's how.
What is with is bat the most delicate? Bats. Is that like the biggest delicacy in China? Like, why is everybody eating bats?
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
There's the pros and cons. Maybe it tastes good for 10 minutes, and then the cons, you give the whole country coronavirus. But Babs,
there's a reason we're the greatest country in the world. We don't.
Going back to the hospitals.
Yeah,
one of my best friends, he's an intern at a hospital, and luckily he still is getting paid for all this. But he's right in the midst of things. Like he'll tell us all the crazy stories he had during his 17-hour intern shift at work. So he said, like, this is actually bad news. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's mad at like my friends who were going out and stuff like that, just kind of not taking it serious. I've taken this serious simply because A, I have no other choice. Everything's shut down here. B, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. Like you could say everybody is overreacting, but we're not going to know till it's over. I'd rather overreact than underreact in this situation and be like, oh, now we're living in the purge and I Am Legend.
Here's my thing too.
Reactionary. Exactly.
And as a society, and that's what we do, we always are reactionary and we're never proactive. And that's the shitty part. Us being in the younger generation And like even me being 28, and I said, oh, it's just a flu, and I was kind of ignorant to it. We're ignorant to it as a young generation of us because we know that most likely it's not going to affect us, but it's going to affect our parents and grandparents and those with weak immune systems and all that. We might have it. We might just be like, oh, whatever. I still got to go outside. I don't give a fuck. We're a very selfish society. But now being in there at the hospital and seeing how it's progressed, and you see the writing on the wall, and then every night I'm doing research of what's going on over there compared to over here. Like I'm waiting for D-Day. I said I'm just waiting for the day I wake up from sleeping because I work overnights, and then I just look at the news and it's just like our hospital's flooded. Like we have no more room, and we only have so much room at the hospital. Like we only have. There's
actually some good news. There's some good news coming out. At least today, I've checked on the website. I've been checking on Corona, like the updates for around the world in America specifically. So cases are up 5,000 for the past 3 days, which is obviously very concerning. But the best news possible actually is that the serious condition has gone dramatically down. It was about 80% mild condition and 20% critical condition, and now it's 96 to 4%, that's very big. Because not even that, you don't have to go to the hospital now. You can stay home and just ride the thing out. Because a lot of the cases now, 96%, according to this website, you can just sit home, hydrate, and not infect anybody else.
Well, what they originally were telling people is if you were showing symptoms, talk to your PCP first, stay at home, self-quarantine for 3 or 4 days. And if the symptoms are getting worse or they're still there after a couple of days, then call your doctor and set up an appointment that you can end up coming into the hospital. And that's what we've been trying to do. And what the good thing about America is we're trying to learn from the other countries because it's starting to make its way over. Like what can we do and don't do compared to what they're doing over there. I saw another thing too, Stafford, today that I believe it was not Canada, maybe Hong Kong, one of these countries, Korea or whatever, they have a test now that it should take 5 minutes to find out whether you have it or not, the positive or negative.
That's good.
And they're hoping that this gets funded and that this can roll out worldwide. And someone made a good point saying, I think it's like 5 or 6 countries that were infected with SARS 2 decades ago. These are the countries that are coming out and trying to do all this testing, and they have that because they went through this pandemic already. And someone said something good too, is like, this pandemic shows which country like knows what they're doing, and the other countries that have no clue what to do. And I feel like as America, we suck at what we're doing right now, and this should have been taken care of a lot better.
Brandon,
let's talk about Tom Brady now.
Oh wait, I have one more question for Brandon. Do you think baseball happens? I think it's a wrap for the season.
I think baseball does happen at the end of the summer. I think it's a.
But even then, you have to start spring training still. Like they're not doing anything. I think baseball is canceled this whole season.
This is the best thing that could happen to the Red Sox in 2020. I'll admit now, that team was going to be awful this year. I did not want to admit it going into the season that's supposed to start tomorrow, but the Red Sox were not going to be good this year. They were maybe going to win. They were going to be lucky to win 80-ish games, and I think they could win the World Series on a win this year. You have like a 20-game season. You have the postseason go on as normal.
That happens, man.
You never know. I think 60 games to glory.
Let me be your pessimist to your baseball optimism. I don't see anything really coming out of baseball this year. I think it's just going to be under wraps. However, if that is the case, that's still a year under contract that you get paid to do really nothing. And so I guess if I were a player, obviously I'd want to play, but if it gets worse, sit out, get paid $30 million. Your body stays healthy. You stay healthy. And then you still age, however, which is the thing. I don't think.
Well, that's the problem. You're going to run into.
Stories going to be coming out as soon as this whole.
You're going to run into that problem with every sport that didn't play right now with the NHL, the NBA, the MLB. You're going to run into that problem with the players' unions where they're going to want their players to get paid, even in a situation like this. Like there's got to be some fine text in their contract somewhere in the collective bargaining agreements.
The coronavirus loophole.
Yeah. I think they're going to try really hard to get sports back, and I hope they do. But it's a dynamic, fluid situation that we really don't know what's going to come of it.
All right. Tom Brady made a post.
I want to make breakfast.
Tom Brady made a post, and Babs didn't enjoy it.
No, I didn't. Toasters. He's making his.
Oh wait! Before we go to Tom Brady, I made the mistake of not buying Eggo Waffles. I always get Eggo Waffles, and then I saw them at the dollar store. I'm like, screw it! I'm gonna get 2 packs of waffles that aren't Eggo. And not Eggo Waffles stink. Eggo Waffles is the only waffles out there.
My problem here is only one side of this toaster works. I got to figure out which one it is.
Quarantine hits some people harder.
Don't
than
stick
others.
your finger in there.
No. This is what you do. You plug it in, and then you get a fork and jab around with it.
See which side's shockier.
All right, Babs, like you said, the Tom Brady Instagram post is kind of promoting TB12 in a way, and then Babs made a comment section, and then the TB12 minions kind of came at Babs, and yeah, you kind of want to explain your side of the predicament.
Okay, I just say it like this, and I'll keep it quick. If you've been following Tom Brady on his Instagram, of course, because of the big news that's been happening with him.
It smells really bad when they're cooking.
My whole thing was in his Instagram stories, he's been promoting his TB12 products, which are the immunity boosters or enhancers, as he says, or his vitamins. He's not doing swipe ups. He's not doing that. But we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you're promoting your vitamins and immune enhancers. So there are going to be people out there that are going to say, oh, maybe I should pick that up because that might help out. He's saying hydration. You know, there are stupid people out there that are going to buy into that snake oil that he's selling. So then when he makes that Instagram post and he's like, hey, everybody, I just want to know that I hope you're all staying happy and healthy during this crisis, which is not a crisis, dude. It's a fucking pandemic. There's a huge difference. A crisis is I think is way less worse than a pandemic. And he's in sunny Florida with the palm trees behind him. You just signed a big contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then you write in the caption, click my link in the bio to learn about immunity enhancers. Now, I clicked the link and I know it was free advice, but that's on a TB12 website, which redirects you into buying his TB12 products and pretty much states, you need to hydrate. You need to get immunity enhancer or immune enhancers. I don't know why I keep calling immunity. You get to need immune enhancers. He's making people buy his product indirectly. It's indirect advertisement. And I think this is fucking the wrong time to do it. That's what pisses me off about this. And he's not the only one. You have on Instagram, you have that thing that says stay home, which is like the first thing that pops up on your story post. And people are using that to promote their brands, like to do swipe ups and shit like that.
Yeah, I saw Dan Allison did that, and I thought that was genius. He posted an article, put that little stay at home thing. Now it's on everybody's staying home. Swipe up.
But in terms of me, like, I just don't like that shit. I don't think that you should be abusing something that's try to promote like what we're going through right now. I think that was wrong for Brady, and I know the minions came out and they talk shit. But here's what's funny, and this is why I don't want to get political, but this is why Trump was in office, is because of the silent majority. No one wants to go out there and publicly bash Brady and agree with me. But you should have saw the DMs I got and people agreeing. And they're not trying to be Spike King loyalists. There's people that message me and go, I don't agree with some of the shit you say, but I'm going to agree with you right here on this. So there are a lot of people behind the closed doors that are thinking the same exact thing. So
I just got an email from my school. They're starting Intramurals video game league. They're doing 2K, Madden, Fortnite, FIFA, Hearthstone, and Rocket League. That's kind of funny. I wonder if other schools are going to start doing that. Like intramurals esports. People, speaking of stock market, like if you just bought into esports right now, the thing is going to must be booming.
Okay. New segment. Joe Stafford versus esports. Esports are the stupidest fucking thing on the planet. It's not a sport. You're playing Xbox with your friends.
And they get paid bank.
TV. That's not what a sport is. I'm sick of it.
A lot of finger movement.
You're saying your thumbs require... That's athletic activity to you, Ben.
I think it's more brain than thumbs, to be honest. I like esports. I think it's kind of cool. Like, you're getting paid so much money.
Esports.
I mean, that's what it's called.
It shouldn't be
a branding issue.
Yeah.
I like esports and the fact that this is the only thing we have right now. Basically, like if you want to watch people you can throw it off. Yeah, you get, like people make a lot of money. There's a ton of people who don't make money from this. Kind of like everyone has a podcast now. Everyone's about to start a stream. Not a lot of people about to make money, but the people who are in it before it kind of blew up a couple of years ago, they must be just be like, oh, dude, this is not perfect, obviously because it's Corona, but this is career-wise. I'm just gonna make lemonade out of lemons that I've been handed.
Okay, Brandon making that Eggo waffle right now is requiring more physical activity than playing Xbox. That is more of a sport than esports.
Not paid anything for it.
I could speed round and see how many I can knock out with only one side of the toaster working.
Yeah, you gotta eat one before the other one pops back up. All right. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I want to preview something. So I'm working on an article right now. And I'll start with this. Tom Brady, the comeback kid, our Michigan man, our 6-time champion. He's gone forever in our hearts. R.I.P. But enough with the sentimental shit. I'm done with the sentimental shit. Tom Brady's gone. It's over. He's in the NFC. That's it. He's in Tampa Bay. We're moving on. We're on to Cincinnati, as Bill Belichick would say. Jarrett Stidham is the next guy up. We all know this. It's being reported by multiple sources. Now, people are freaking out. Oh, we should trade for Cam Newton, or we should sign Cam Newton. We should draft the guy. We should trade into the first round and get a guy. There are two huge benefits to having Jarrett Stidham as your offensive captain, as your quarterback for this upcoming season. Number one, it's unbelievable for N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers. First reason, they dumbed down the system. The Patriots receiving system is super hard to learn. Guys like Chad Johnson, one of the most electric receivers in the NFL at the time, couldn't learn it because he was too dumb. It's a very hard system for these guys to learn because they're required to make reads at the line of scrimmage as well as the quarterback. When you have N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers, who have already played with Stidham in the preseason, who already have a rapport with him, especially Myers on that front, it's going to be easier for them to develop an offense, to develop and show their skill this season because of how the system is going to work. Stidham's going to have a much easier time learning the system than Brady did when he had to jump in for Drew Bledsoe. Another thing, Stidham's athletic. Josh McDaniels has experience with mobile quarterbacks at the position. Tim Tebow, he drafted in the first round. I said it like 12 times on this podcast before. We are going to see a read option, play action form of offense we've never seen in a Patriots system before because they're going to utilize every single facet that Stidham brings to the offensive system. And it's going to be tremendous to see because now we're going to start moving into the modern NFL offense that we haven't seen really before. We've been a check down team, short pass team for the last, 5-7 years. But now we're going to start seeing more adaptive ways of playing the game, maybe even more college ways of playing the game. I think fans should be excited to see this transition for the Patriots into this next era.
I was not a big Stidham guy. When he first came out, it was me being arrogant, saying this is still Brady's team. And now I'm a Stidham guy because A, you have to be if you support the New England Patriots. You got to roll with who they have. But B, the fact that they're going with Brian Hoyer and they're bringing him in, and these stupid idiots think that Brian Hoyer is going to be the QB1 and going to beat out Stidham. He's not there to beat out Stidham. He's there to mold Stidham into the future. But I also do like the fact, Joe, and that they should be drafting a quarterback this year to keep Stidham on his toes and have that competitiveness for the next 2 to 3 seasons. They're not getting Cam Newton. They're not getting Andy Dalton. They're not going to get Jameis Winston. And they're not going to get Deshaun Watson next year. Even at the point that you got to hope they have $100 million in cap space or whatever they have, that Stidham knocks it out of the park this year or does at least decent enough that next year they're like, hey, we can get you some weapons now. Hey, we know what you got. We're going to actually go out there and buy somebody. But you're right. Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, this is the perfect opportunity for them. They all come in together as well last year. And N'Keal Harry, and I said this on my Q&A, someone asked me a great question. Do you think N'Keal Harry becomes a wide receiver 1 this year? And I think so. I think N'Keal Harry is going to be Stidham's bailout guy. I think that he's just going to chuck it up to him and let N'Keal fly. And I bet we're going to see something out of N'Keal Harry that's going to show that Belichick was a genius for drafting him in the first round, that he's never done in the past. There's a reason why he was drafted in the first round. Not for Tom Brady. It was for Jarrett Stidham in the future. I feel like a lot of the moves that Belichick has been making have been getting ready and gearing up for the departure of Tom Brady.
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Just to clarify my position real quick, I do still want them to draft the guy. I wasn't saying they shouldn't draft the guy. I think they should still sit in that third round and take a guy like Hurts if he starts to fall. So just to push Stidham, if nothing else. But even if you do get a guy like Hurts or a mobile guy in the later rounds, we could see subsets from McDaniels. We could see an option where on those third and short, have a read option, maybe a triple option, maybe some college stuff, some trickery stuff, because that's the way the NFL is moving. We even saw in the Tennessee playoff game where we lost Tom Brady's final playoff game in Gillette Stadium, Marcus Mariota had like 6 different formations where he just came out on the field in short yard situations and ran read option plays with Derrick Henry, and it worked. It was successful. So I think McDaniels and Belichick are going to toy around with that this offseason, depending on their personnel.
What do you think about the kicker before we have to wrap this up? What do you think about the kicker position and the punter kicker getting a hybrid position with Jake Bailey and they just roll with him because he started doing the kickoffs last year?
I think you might not be. I think Babs might have been right about that because he predicted that months ago when Gostkowski got hurt initially, and now I think you might have just been early with that.
Just like the jerseys and stuff like that. Early with everything.
I think that's coming.
I was trying to push it last year and saying, like, we have a kicker here. I know he's kicking in a field goal post that's the size of a house, but it just shows that all we need is cheap little small kicks and trust your defense.
I cannot be more clear about this. I hate Steven Gostkowski. Since the 2015 AFC Championship in Denver, he has never been the same. I don't care what you look at his career statistics and everything. Yes, on paper, great kicker. And before 2015, great kicker. Babs, pay attention to me. No, look at me, Babs.
Brandon eating waffles kills me. This is the funny.
But Cordy Twins commented on our Instagram post, so I was just being told that.
Oh my goodness, you're just pounding waffles.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead. You hate Gostkowski. I know, I'm sorry.
Yes, Gostkowski sucked the past 4 years. I am so glad he's gone. He was overpaid. The number one kicker in the league, I might add, at $4 million. So that saves another $4 million in the cap that we desperately needed. On Jake Bailey's front, I love the kid. Superstar. Should have been a Pro Bowler last year. Wasn't absolutely robbery. Brandon's eating his Eggo again. But regardless, I want to see Bailey get a shot at least in the preseason at kicking in these extra points. If not extra points, real field goals. I would still like to see the Patriots draft a guy 6th, 7th round maybe, because there are some good kickers coming into this draft. And just bring a Kempla again. Maybe bring Nick Folk back or something like that. It's going to be a cheap option, which is good because we can't afford an expensive option anyway. I do want to see the kicker punter position start to become a hybrid. I want to see them maybe get more athletic, maybe some more trick plays. Like, we don't know. The NFL is molding into something we've never seen before.
If anyone's ever going to do it, it's Bill Belichick to do that, and it saves a roster spot, and it saves some money as well, too. So it's just a very interesting concept. Hey, Tyler Miller, take us home.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to wrap this up. Brandon, you eating waffles is the funniest thing the entire It's just Joe's giving some legitimate insight, and I'm trying so hard not to just because you took it out of the toaster, you examined it, and that part almost ruined me.
I just dripped syrup on my laptop.
All right, space bar is not gonna work. All right, any final thoughts before we wrap this up, Brandon? We'll start with you.
I had something to say. I've lost it with the waffle thing, but what do you think about potentially bringing in? If he's available in the 7th round of the NFL draft, what do you think about potentially bringing in Georgia kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, the hot rod?
I am all for it. I am huge hot rod guy. Huge hot rod guy.
Strong nickname, sure. Babs, any final thoughts?
Hopping off of this, and then we're gonna do our gender reveal. So by the time that this makes it, I'm either having boys or girls, and like I said, doesn't matter if the powder is blue or pink. I'm just very excited for this opportunity of life that's coming into me, and it's going to be crazy. My games get cut now. I'm not going to travel at all for Patriots games, obviously, and hopefully I get to attend a few home games, but it's going to be fun when the twins are born and we're watching football on Sundays, and they're born at the time that Tom Brady is no longer a New England Patriot. So they're starting with Stidham. They're going to have Stidham jerseys ready to go week 1.
It'll be so funny if green powder pops out. I was like, well, what is this? It's this is what
GRD's kid.
Or blue.
T-Guns is the only one that knows what the gender is. He's the one that, because we're in quarantine life, and it's just going to be me, Michelle, Kev, and T-Guns, because we're the only ones here at the HQ. So they're the ones Kev doesn't know, but T-Guns does know, and we'll see what ends up happening. But it'll be fun.
Stafford, any final thoughts?
Gunnar Olszewski for kicker. We'll see if that works out. That's about it. Yeah.
How do you say his name?
Olszewski. That's what he said. Olszewski.
Is it Olszewski?
Oscar Slaughters.
Ghana.
I don't know how to say it.
Ghana kid.
Ghana here.
All right, my final thought is shout out Dito. Dito kills it on the edits. Go follow Boston's Big Three. Buddy, I'm getting there. He does do well. Dito, a lot of behind the scenes guy. I'm sure if you follow Boston's Big Three, you probably know Dito. If you follow Spiking, you probably know Dito. Doing well. We appreciate his work. And now you can follow me on Twitter.
PS4.
No, Twitter. Oh, my God. I just got an update from my teacher. My bad. Ty Miller 508. Play GTA with me on PS4. I'm trying to do some heists, but I need one more person. Simple as that. Boston's Big Three, episode 45.
If anyone knows how to get syrup out of a keyboard, let me know. DM me on Instagram.